This is Chris, the Idaho Painter here on Paint Life TV. Today, I am here. We're going to show you a product. It's called JB Weld. I'm going to be fixing a letter right here that fell off. And JB Weld is a very versatile glue, epoxy, adhesive, whatever you want to call it. I use it for all kinds of things. I keep some in my painting van. I've fixed tools with it, extension poles. I've fixed my craft cardboard shield holders with it. It's absolutely amazing. So it's an epoxy, a two-part epoxy. It dries extremely hard. It's sandable, it's drillable, moldable. It's really versatile. So here's a metal letter that was apparently epoxied on here. It fell off. We had a little kid pull it off. So I'm going to try to glue it on there permanently using JB Weld, and I'm going to show you the product right here. This is it. Original cold weld formula. It's a steel reinforced epoxy, and once again, I use it for all kinds of things. It can be used inside, outside. It could be used for automotive stuff, household repairs, all kinds of stuff. You can use it for wood, metal, glass, plastic, tile, PVC pipe, all kinds of stuff. But here we go. I'm going to show you how it's used. It's very simple and easy to use. It's a two-part. You have a one that's the epoxy, the steel epoxy right here, and then you have a hardener, and it's just mixed to a 1-to-1 ratio. You want to mix it really good. It dries. It sets up in 4 to 6 hours. It dries in about 15 to 24 hours. So I'm just going to put a couple little dabs. I'm not going to be needing very much. I'm just going to glue it on right there. So a little dab of my steel reinforced epoxy, and then I'm going to use equal parts right here of the hardener. Just going to dab a little bit on there. And it's kind of like a paste. It's not very thick, not very thin, kind of right in between. It's great for gluing stuff that's not hanging, horizontal stuff that's horizontal. This letter actually sits on here. It doesn't have an instant tack, so if there's too much weight, it could fall off. So this is kind of an experiment whether it's going to hang on there or not. So we'll show you. We're just going to mix this up. It mixes up to just a dark gray, not light gray, but dark gray. I want to get it so the color is completely consistent and even. Like I've had multiple extension poles break that I've glued this with, and it dries typically harder than the surface you're actually gluing it to. So it's, once again, it's a steel reinforced epoxy. It can withstand temperatures up to 550 degrees. So you can actually, I didn't glue some parts on my boat engine with it, but somebody else did, and they actually held up and stuck. So there's all mixed up, dark gray. Now I'm just gonna apply a little bit to each one of these plastic fittings right here. Those were plastic. This has an epoxy on here that failed. So the sign guy that made this didn't use too strong of an epoxy. The epoxy obviously stuck to the metal good enough, but not to the plastic fitting. So I'm just gonna dab a little bit on there. I don't need a whole lot. Gonna wipe it off. It's not water-based, so you can't clean up with water. So I'm just gonna take my I'm gonna fit this thing back on there. Now it's fixed. Educate, empower, and equip is all repaired. So I'm gonna let that set there. Once again, its dry time is set time is 4 to 6 hours, 15 to 24 hours to cure. So you don't want to bump that, mess with it. You want to allow it to dry right there, and then we'll come back and test it. But from my experience using JB Weld, the stuff works just about on everything. It's absolutely amazing. I've repaired some stuff on my pool with it, my pool slide. I glued even the handles to the entry in the pool with it. So there you have it, JB Weld. If you've ever used the product, let us know your experience with it down in the comment section below. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That way you get notified every time we come out with another cool educational video. Like we always say, we'll see you next time right here on Paint Life TV. Out.